need to share my screen.
Yeah, let me make sure I give you the ability. Okay, I think you should be able to now. Is it letting you share?
Let me see.
Okay. I made you a co-host, so I believe that should do it. Yep, I can see
the screen that says SAM.gov.
Yes, I see that one.
Yep. Okay, good. Get this Zoom icon to go away. There it is. Okay. Well, I've had so many requests about this, and I'm pretty incompetent with it. So I'm going to appreciate everybody sharing what they know.
And I'll stay on the whole time. I'll just put my camera off and mute myself. But if you need anything, I'll be able to hear you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
John.
English people.
Well, good morning, everyone. We're a small crowd today online, but we are taping this because there's been so very many questions about how to get into federal grants and what you need to do to take care of that. So I'm going to walk you through some things. I want to start with a disclaimer that I am no expert on SAM or Grants.gov, but I can point you in the right direction maybe. And they both have help videos and resources and a phone number to call. And the folks are usually really, really helpful if you get stuck in this process. So I'm going to spend the next, maybe it'll be 20 or 30 minutes walking you through the two portals that you need to get connected with. And if you have any questions, we're a small group. Feel free to just turn on your microphone and ask, because we can certainly try to answer the questions. And if we don't have the answer, I'll try to help you find it out. I want to begin by saying that everything that you need to do for signing up to get federal grants is free. You can do it yourself. There are some companies out there that indicate or offer to sell these services to you, but I would recommend you do this yourself, because it's really not that hard, and you do have a lot of helpful resources from the government. So we're going to start with the first step that you need to do in order to start applying for federal grants. And that's, you need to go to the website SAM.gov. It's just SAM.gov. I'll warn you, there are some commercial sites that are very similar to this that want you to pay for their services. They are in business and trying to provide support to organizations that need it. But really, I think you can do all of this on your own. So if you see on my screen, you see a picture of the homepage of SAM.gov. And there are two sort of registrations that you have to do. The first is you want to sign in up here and get your own account. I'm going to walk you through that. So if you are new and you need to create an account, you go down to the bottom of this page and do it. As you can see, I've already got an account, so I'm going to sign in, and it will send me a text alert with a key number that I have to put in. I've already logged in advance, so it didn't require that this time, but you will end up having to have a text or an email code to enter. So you get into your account, and it looks like this. It has my name and my email address on it. And it shows that I have an active registration. So I'm all set up now in that respect, but I do not have a role assigned. And we're going to talk a little bit more about roles in a little bit, because roles are what you need to have in order to apply for a grant. So once you get logged in like this, you go back to the home page, you see register your entity or get a unique entity ID. So you're going to need to register your organization. And that's separate and different than your sign-in. So let's get started on registering our organization. And they show here that you have 4 basic steps. They give you some information about what you need to do to register online, and they provide a downloadable checklist. And I want to just give you a few highlights from this checklist, because this is the data you need to gather in order to apply for a SAM number. And SAM stands for System of Award Management, and they are the government entity that when you get a grant, they are the ones that manage the money. So they put the money in your bank account for the grant. And most of the grants are the type that you spend the money first and then you're reimbursed. So that process is the way it works. Sometimes you can ask them for an advance. If you don't have, you need to start spending the money right away, they'll advance you some money. But it all comes into the bank account that you provide to them. So when you get ready to register your entity for SAM, you scroll down the first page, they have 2 types, all awards registrations and then financial assistance awards only. So for organizations like nonprofits or local governments that are only applying for grants, you want this part, financial assistance awards only. And that information starts all the way down on page 12. So bear with me while I get to page 12. And here's the checklist for those of you that are trying to register for SAM. So you're going to need a unique entity ID. And this is the information you have to provide them to get that unique entity ID. This unique entity ID is taking the place of the DUNS number that used to be required for grants. The government is no longer using the DUNS number. They are assigning you a UEI. So to get your UEI, you need to have your legal business name, your address, your date of incorporation, and your state of incorporation. So if you can't find your charter of incorporation, you'll need to contact the Kansas Secretary of State's office, so because you will need that information. They then validate that information to identify that you're a unique entity. And it takes a few days. So you want to go ahead and get this set up as soon as possible. Even if you don't have a federal grant you're ready to apply for, you can still get all of this set up. And then once a year, they'll send you an email and ask you to update it, which is just a process of going in to your account and verifying that things have changed or haven't changed. The core data they're going to ask you for is a lot of information about your organization, when you started and when does your fiscal year end, and all of this information here, your mailing address and your tax identification number. So you want to have that information ready. They ask for general information like state of incorporation and other organizational factors. And some of these you won't be relevant for you, and you can just skip or note that it's not relevant. The financial information that's going to be very important is your electronic funds transfer information. So your account type, your routing number, and your account number. You want to be sure that that you're putting the money into the account that you're supposed to. So you'll want to check with your organization's financial officer, accountant, and be sure where this grant money is going to be deposited. Then they ask you some questions about executive compensation and whether your organization is primarily funded by federal funds. Lots of questions through here, and most of these you probably won't really need to worry about. When you get down to the bottom here, it has something called mandatory POCs, and POCs stand for points of contact. So these are the people in your organization that the government can get a hold of if there's a question or a problem with the funds transfer. So they'd like you to have at least 2 people. You can't put the same person down as each of these 3 required points of contact. You have to have at least 2 different people. And the reason for that is, say the executive director is all 3 points of contact. They leave, you get a new executive director whose name isn't on here. They can't get into the account or make any changes. So you want at least 2, and it wouldn't hurt to have 3 people assigned these roles or POCs, because the POCs are going to be the person of contact that will receive the emails and notices about SAM and be notified when it needs to be updated. You can also add optional points of contact, and that's entirely up to you. For small organizations, 2 or 3 people is probably plenty, but for larger organizations, they may want to add additional points of contact. So those are the data that you need to pull together to get your SAM account set up. And when you prepare that data, then you're ready to get started. And I am just going to show you kind of what this looks like. You now have 2 questions here. Do you need to go get your unique entity ID, or register your entity? So you want to get this first. We've already talked about that. You go into a form that looks like this, and I can't advance you because I'm not going to fill this whole form out, but it asks you to validate the information and to request the UEI, and then you will receive the UEI, and it may take a few days to get it. So you want to be sure you're not doing this the same week that you're going to submit the grant. you can, like I said earlier, go get all this done ahead of time, and then it's ready to go when you do find a grant you want to apply for. So I'm going to take us back maybe here to, oh, well, this is going to show you, this shows you entities that I have been a part of working with in the past. It shows that they have a unique entity ID. Let's look down here at the African American Museum. They have a unique entity ID. The reason they're here is they're interested in federal assistance awards, has the physical address, and you'll have what's called a cage code. And a cage code is just a number that they will assign you if you don't know what your cage code is. It's a commercial government entity code is what it's called, but they can assign that to you. So this provides me as someone who's registered a list of all of the entities that I have been approved to work with. None of these are active right now, so I can't go any deeper into it. But when you get your entity set up and it's an active account, then you can use it to apply for grants. So see, some of these have expired, and you can reactivate if you let it expire, but it's easier to just go in and update it and check to be sure that your points of contact haven't changed and any of the core information hasn't changed. So let's go back to home.
Hey, Lisa, just quickly, there's a question in the chat. They're asking about, as a local government, their city has a UEI, but wondering if the police department should have their own, or if you can file under the same city UEI to receive the federal funds.
My sense is they probably use the same one for the city, but we can check on that. Let me make a note of that real quick. City. Yeah, we can check on that and see, but my initial thought is you can use the same. What you might need to do is go in and add a point of contact for the police department in the account so that someone in the police department does get notices. So back to here. So once you get registered and get your UEI and you get your entity registered, you're pretty well done with everything on SAM. You can set up and notifications if you want to that will allow you to get workspace notifications. Workspace, we're going to talk about it more when we get to Grants.gov, but Workspace is the place that you actually fill in the application for the grant. So it works through Grants.gov. So I think that is about all I really intended to cover on SAM. It's just a number that you have to get, a registration number. So once you get that information, you're now ready to go to, let's see if I can find it, Grants.gov. And Grants.gov, I always think this web page is intimidating because it's so busy, but it's really pretty easy to use. We'll start up here at the top of the tab. They have a Learn Grants section, and it's mainly focused on federal grants, but they have some little information like Grants 101 and policies and who's eligible for grants and what some of the terms that they use mean. So I'd encourage you to walk through this report. They also have a nice little video on how to register with Grants.gov, and it's very simple. It's up here in the far right-hand corner is a register button. And it walks you through. There's a video describing it, or you can read this application thing, but it's simply go fill out this form. And then you are registered, and it's pretty instantaneous. Once you do that, you're registered. So this Learn Grant section can be helpful. What I wanted to show you was a search grants section. And this is where all the federal grants that are issued are available for you to search. So any federal dollars that are out there are going to be on Grants.gov. You can search by keyword, you can search by opportunity number, and each grant here listed has this opportunity number. So if you know that there's a grant that comes out year after year that you want to apply for, you can search by that opportunity number. It shows you the agency that lists or is issuing the grant opportunity. It's posted. Forecasted means it's not open yet, but we think it's coming. So, if you're interested, read through and start preparing your information. And then it has a close date, and then it'll tell you what that is. So some of them are pretty short timelines. So on the search side of the screen, if you look here at forecasted and posted, I'm going to say that I'm only really interested in grants that are open right now, that are forecasted. And then I'm really only interested in grants. I don't want procurement contracts or cooperative agreements. I'm looking for grants. And then it asks who is eligible. So I might be looking for grants for a city or township, a county, and if you scroll down a little further, you'll find nonprofits having a 501c3 status with the IRS. I'm interested in grants that those organizations can apply for. There's also a nonprofit that does not have a 501c3 status with the IRS, other than institutions of higher education. And if you fall into that category, you can click it. You can then decide which type of grants you want to look at. Are you interested in community development or arts or agriculture? I'm just going to say arts for this example. And I'm interested in any organization, any agency that issues funding for this category. So now you see I've got my search down to quite a small amount. And say I want to keep an eye on these. So I can go up here and save this search. It's going to require me to log in again. So it's going to add the save search. In this section, I have to give it a name. Just call it save search. And then you have to go, I think, to the bottom and save it. So now you can see under my searches, I've been practicing for this. I have several searches listed here. So the advantage of that is you can easily go in and view the results from the search that you did a few days ago. And it lets you save up to 15 different searches. So that's a pretty helpful tool. I want to go back to the search grants because I want to show you how you dig into the grant a little bit more carefully. So I'm going to redo my search I had before here. Okay, it's a little easier to look at it. So here's a grant for fiscal year 2022 for historic preservation, history of equal rights preservation grants. So if you click on the hot link under the opportunity number, it takes you to a summary where it tells you information when it was posted, when it was updated, when it was expected to close, and it gives you a little description of the grant. You can view the history of the grant. which provides you a little bit more information. And here's the synopsis. You can follow the link to understand that. It provides related documents, and you would probably want to take a look at these if you were going to apply for this grant. These are all hot links. And then it has a tab called Package. And the package is where you get a little bit more information. So if I push preview, it shows me the mandatory forms that we're going to have to fill out for the grant. And if I click apply, it says review the applicant facts and prepare and submit your application. So what it does is it just gives you the overview of the grant, and then here you can get started with it. So I'm not going to be able to show you in real detail how this part works, but you have to have what they call a role. So if you are a basic organization with 1 or 2 registered Grants.gov users, they have a section for you to apply. Intermediate is a few more registered Grant.gov users, and advanced is more. And it has to do with how much workspace they give you. It's really kind of a cloud workspace that you can share if you're writing this grant as a team. So I'm going to choose the one that's intermediate. And they provide a step-by-step approach here about how you get roles. And each team member has to be registered with Grants.gov, and that happens up here. Remember, I set up an account to register. So everybody has to have their own account, and then they want you to design your own workflow. So figure out who is going to be writing which pieces of the grant. And they provide a helpful graphic here to kind of, oh, this is going to a video. I don't want that, so sorry. So you have to decide how you want the work to flow. And that's basically this process checklist of have you assigned responsibilities to each team member. So you identify the team, you assign responsibilities, you then create a workspace there's a webinar on here about how to do that when you by clicking on the apply button. So once you get roles assigned and you get a workplace in position, then you can create your workspace. I can't go in and do that for you because I'm not affiliated with an entity right now. So when you register your entity, you have an opportunity to say who's going to have the expanded AOR, who's going to be the workspace manager, and those are called roles. So in order to get access to the workspace to work in it, you have to have a role assigned. So when you register your entity, you also set up roles. And then that allows you, when you find a grant you want to apply for, to create a workspace. I want to go back quickly to my let's go back to search grants real quickly. So any grant, when you go in to look at it, has a button up here that's grayed out, the apply button. And once you create your workspace, you should be able to get into that workspace from this apply button. And it will provide you the packages of documents that you're going to have to complete. I can't go in and show that to you because I'm not, don't have a role assigned with any entities I'm working with right now. So that step is pretty well explained in the videos, if you can watch that. The other thing I would encourage you to do is check out this Connect section on the Grants.gov. I go over here and subscribe to all new opportunities. And that means that every time there is a new grant posted, once a day I get an email that has a list of these grants. And if I'm not interested, I just delete it, but at least I'm getting those grant announcements pushed to my desk. So if you're interested in that, I would encourage you to subscribe to all new opportunities. You can also subscribe to the Grants.gov news or a specific opportunity. If you're looking at a specific grant, you get that opportunity number and you can subscribe, and anything that comes out about that grant, say they have an extension on the due date or something like that, it will push that information to you. So you'll be able to keep up on any changes. I know sometimes when they had a hurricane, a bad hurricane, they extended the deadline of some grants because some folks obviously couldn't do it because they were suffering through a hurricane. So sometimes things change with the grant, and that will allow you to get notices about it. And here's your subscribe to save searches. That's where all my save searches that we did earlier are listed. And finally, there's a support button that you can read, and feel free to contact Grants.gov. They're usually very, very helpful when you get a hold of them. And they have information down here too about ways you can reach them. That's about all I can share today with what we've been doing. Are there any questions anybody has? Well, once you have your SAM number and once you find a grant in Grants.gov, you're going to set up roles when you register your entity, and then the roles can be used to create a workspace. You can then click on the apply button on the grants announcement page and start to work. So I wish you all the best in your search for grants. I'll try to do a little research and find out about whether the police department needs its own UEI, and then we can move forward. If you'd leave your name and contact information so Isabel can reach you, she'll send that question out as soon as I figure it out. So thank you very much and have a good afternoon.